Hey beauties, morning to you. There is a particular former police officer that I personally admire, definitely respect. He was Jamaica's best law enforcement officer in my opinion. Best crime fighter in my opinion. This is a highly skilled, highly trained man in his area of speciality. He was an expert at his craft. And I'm talking about former Senior Superintendent Renato Adams. And I never forgot when he made a comment. He said Jamaica is going to pay dearly. Because he had a crime fighting strategy that he was promulgating to the powers that be, to the higher authorities, and it wasn't accepted. Some people even thought that he would have become the next commissioner during his tenure as a law enforcement officer, as a trained personnel in the area for many years. I remember listening to him on Profile, and he was talking about his whole life story. I know he said initially he was going to become a teacher. So that tells a story, So you see the link between being a teacher and a crime fighter. In other words, you're somebody who is able to impart strategies, possibly, because you have some teachers that may be, a little shaky where that is concerned. And, it so happened that he went into law enforcement as opposed to teaching. This is a man that I just like to hear when he speaks. I think Jamaica stops when he's being interviewed. And I never forgot years ago when I was doing my first degree, he came to one of our sessions or classes. He and, his bodyguards or whatever it is, and what struck me with him, this was a highly intelligent human being. Those days, it wasn't prevalent for a lot of country children, people from the country, and certain areas of Jamaica to get a high level of education. Sometimes they stop at primary school, unfortunately, secondary school, unfortunately, sometimes without even really becoming literate in the way that should have been given to them, or literacy should have been allotted to them. And no matter what questions, and there were difficult questions in my opinion at the time that were posed to him, and the man was able to answer them seemingly without any help, without any hesitation. He never had to think twice. And from then on I said, this man means business. And if you can remember, I call it that infamous time when some sort of gang member or bad man or whatever he considered himself to be threatened him. And and Mr. Adams says, all right, no problem. You can come to my house. I'll be home at, like he would say, 10:30 p.m. Come at, so-and-so, such and such a place. Like he gave out his address. Up to now, that bad man, henchman, could not reach. Reach where? Probably wouldn't even reach. He would not even reach unable, to say he reached. So definitely I can't even say reach to tell the tale. He probably would not even reach to tell the tale. Invading on a man's personal and private property. Threatening him. Really? Oh, really? But what struck me, my beautiful Jamaicans, is the reality that what he has promulgated, that slogan, I call it, Jamaica will pay dearly. The Jamaicans basically will pay dearly. Look at what is happening in our country in this 21st century, Jamaican people. I never seen poverty like this. Sometimes I'm wondering if we're in one of those Somalian areas in Africa. The level of poverty. And the reason why crime and violence is like a stench in the nostrils of God, because the country is a small one. So it is going to seem magnolious. The country already is like an aggressive spirit is hovering over the land. People are aggressive. It doesn't matter where they're from, whether uptown, downtown, road town, middle town. You can hardly step on a man's toe. Remember, there was a time a few years ago, like if people had on a pair of shoes and you stepped on their toe, you would be stabbed, you'd be killed, and I couldn't jump, and it was just spiraling out of control. Because the problem, beautiful people, is not the people who say it's the devil and all of that. Sometimes we blame the devil, and it's our own folly. We need to break up our fallow grounds or fallow ground because of our own little folly. We don't hold people accountable. We hold who we feel some little. I don't want to call people friars because I don't want to disregard God's, God's own handiwork. When He said He made us wonderfully. We were marvelously fashioned. It's just that some people turn themselves into friars. They never believed God when He said He made them in a wonderful and in a marvelous manner. If some of these gunmen and scammers would understand how beautiful and wonderful God had made them, they're supposed to be like kings, royalties, queens, because you have women involved in these things too. But they missed the mark. And Renata, the former senior superintendent, stated that these people, as in the Jamaicans, going to pay dearly. We're facing it. Beautiful people. Jamaica just heavy. It's just heavy, when you probably, if you've never exercised in a long while and you go decide say go run a marathon, run fast. And when you're done the next day, you wonder what the heck if somebody did beat you up, thump you up, kick you up, box you up and fling you down. To how you have your body, your entire body heavy and pain up. That's exactly how we feel like somebody beaten up badly, verbally, psychologically, physically, emotionally, sexually. That's how it feels in the land, in the country. It's heavy. A number of crime and violence, they're not reported. And the ones that we see reported are so terribly. So can you imagine some of the ones that are not even reported? Huh? The man said that we would pay dearly because whatever crime plan strategy he had, he and his, supporters, loyalists, he knew it would have worked. You remember he was one of the feared law enforcement officers. The number one as far as I'm concerned. And I'm sure, and you had other men like Trinity, Bigger Ford, and I don't know some other others. But I'm telling you, Jamaica is the man knew because it's his area of speciality. When it's their area of speciality and you see something going a particular way, you can almost know the trajectory of where it is going. It's not a matter of wishing bad. It's a reality. If you plant peas, you will reap peas in abundance, more than what you planted. If you plant corn, you're going to reap corn in abundance, more than what you have planted. You'll see a fleet of it, or however they call it, when you see the whole heap of corn in a cornfield there. We're paying dearly. I don't even know how that man did not become commissioner. I hear people say because it's political. This one I like this, and all them like a foolishness they say, man, in this country. But because you don't like the person, you think the person this and some stupidity. You don't have to like somebody to know their gifts and talents and abilities for them to make something great. You can respect their craft and know that they're going to do a good job. Look at their character. Whether you like them, yes or no, respect them. Respect their skills and their talents and abilities. We run on too many of these things too much, especially in Jamaica. Because you don't like this person, you're not going to give the person an opportunity or a chance. And you end up get shafted in the long run because you're not really a great facilitator. You're not really a great leader, for whatever area you are. Whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in politics, whether it's in churches. There's a church that they called up a church like you go in Mile Gully side. And maybe it's the same way they treated young people like nothing. Always the young people don't know not them this and them wayward, deviant and whatnot. They never thought they somehow it didn't occur to them that they were getting older. So they got older and older until everybody dead out. I passed there recently. I can't even barely see the church or the grass and the weed and whatever grow up high. It's full of tombstone go right on. I couldn't even see it. The angle. I didn't want to go near it per se. It was some colleagues and I were going on doing our job. And we had to pass there. And I just shook my head and said, look at that. Waste. Waste. And in a figurative sense, in a spiritual sense, in a social sense, Jamaica may just turn like that dopey church. Because we lack wisdom. We lack knowledge. Well, wisdom and understanding rather. Anyway, guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this, big up yourself, Renato, big up yourself.